Good morning. It is Saturday morning, and we are working through becoming who we are. So, I was thinking today about the statement of a particular individual who said, I'd really like to be friends. And you know what? Most people really don't want to. I and this tends to be true for people, who tend to uh, indulge in passionate, creative pursuits. Um, the majority of people just do not understand that pursuit. You understand because you're here, but the idea that you want to know who I am, and then you find out, and it really shocks or disturbs you. A Being a friend to someone is understanding who they are. And I'm bringing this up because it's a common thread among people I've spoken to who are in our situation. They are extremely creative and driven people. And we have these particular inspirational drives and creative passions, and we talk about music and where it comes from. For instance, I get a lot of my ideas from people who, I wouldn't describe as ethereal, or, whatever you want to say, whether those are mental constructs or whether those are actual beings that exist. I don't know. But it is, I listen to that and then music flows. I tell that to some people who call themselves my friend, and they get very uncomfortable. And it is just the way of things. So when you feel alone there in the world, know that there are people who understand you, but be aware that some people who say, I'd really like to be friends, that doesn't mean they want to know about you. They want to associate with the person they imagine that you are. And this goes back to a long-standing piece of ethical, moral, and artistic congruence with who you are. You don't have to share every little detail of yourself with everyone, but you don't want to alter who you are because someone else thinks something, or you're worried that it may disturb a friend or family member. For instance, there was the gentleman that I've mentioned before, John Foldy. He was incongruent in a massive way. He spent most of his time trying to convince people that he was something that he was not. He tried to convince people he was a genius. He was not. He was a smart guy, but he probably could have been a genius if he put as much work into being a genius instead of convincing people that he was a genius. He was an okay musician who tried to convince people that he was a one of a kind, once in a generation musician. He was not, but he could have been if he would have focused on doing that instead of trying to convince people of that. In fact, he spent a lot of time working with a scientific researcher, Joe Wolfel, who may be dead at this time. I don't know. He was in his 70s at that point, who talked about how you sway people's opinions. And so John spent a lot of time trying to sway people's opinions. I'm telling you, do not try to convince people who you are. Just be that person. That's easy to say, difficult to do. But be who you are be true to that vision and be comfortable with that. Realize that everyone in the world may not like that. It may isolate you at times, but you just continue being ethically congruent. Doing the right thing is oftentimes difficult, but we do it anyway. So let me read you one quote that is relevant to this, and it's Ralph Waldo Emerson. And it says, "A friend is a person with whom I may be sincere. Before this person, I may think out loud." And just review in your mind the people that you can think out loud around. How many people is that? One, maybe two, if you're lucky. So know you're not alone out there, and continue to work out. So I'm going to redo my my workout again. Refining Saturday is a refinement day, and let's get to it and be who we are becoming. I'll see you tomorrow.